Welcome back to day 16, 17 hours in the Volvo Ocean Race, leg 2. And here we see that dawn is just about to break over. We have some, what looks like low-lying cloud cover. And we're traveling at about 12 to 13 knots in 17 knot winds. It does vary up and down, it's about the maximum. The leaderboard doesn't really matter for now, won't until the end, I believe. But time to look at the map and see what's happening. Well, looking out at the South Atlantic, there's a mess of boats all the way across from Brazil, all the way across to Africa. I think these guys have been parked here forever, so they're not part of the race. Anyway, let's have a look at who's in the lead. I guess Kato and Volatan and Red Bull Racing, or Red Bull Sailing. Schnoodlehuber, if I pronounced that wrong, I'm very, very sorry. And Kevin Linden, who, as you remember, was up here with us. So they are all heading into a headwind, and although they look to be the closest to the Cape, time will tell how well they can tack and get there on time. To the southwest of us, we have X-Ray, who has forged out a little bit of a gap to or Blackborough on Grew Power. We also have Nightshed Swimmer, doing very well, and I thank him for his compliment on Steam. Zepp and Defenestrator doing pretty well on the side, and then we have Parax, Tommy Cards, and quite a lot of different boats. Peppers is over there as well. Zuzu, my sailor's out. He was very close to us at one stage, so I'm not sure what happened to him. And then we have Deja Vu, who yesterday went east and now is coming back down southeast again. Vilp, and Peter, and I believe this is Frank Black with Captain Philly Phil. So yeah, that's interesting. But let's have a look at our local group. And we've been turning a little bit to the southwest, getting a good beam. Heard your mind, we've just crossed over him recently. Paniers, Andy Knox, and Dingo's doing very well down there, heading to the southeast. We're still trying to catch up to Nemo and Carl. We were much closer, but we seem to have lost quite a lot of time to these guys in the last couple of days. Not sure why that is. Ratline's doing very well as well, and Zyle also continuing on his southerly path. So our task for the next couple of days, and at one stage I was, whoop, no, come on, don't do this to me. At one stage the plan was, as you can see, to do this little arc through here, which Disco Infidel had marked out. The wind really didn't help us with that, and then there was a plan to come down south, continue south and around. For now, I'm heading a little bit south-southwest, trying to get a little bit of position on some of these guys in my local group, and hoping that we can come down and make a little bit of a curve turn around. Now my crew is not in total agreement about this, and I'm sure that there might be concerns that we are going out west again, which seems to be antithetical to the whole idea of getting to the Cape, which is on the southwest of us. Sorry, the southeast of us. But looking at the curvature of the Earth, thinking about the east-west wind as it comes through, that is the plan for today. Who knows how it will change as the grips change? Not the grips, the gribs change. And hopefully we will see either we will see in a couple of days whether we get lucky with one of the storms that are developing or that do develop off of South America here. So the idea is to get as south as possible and then make a turn, and hopefully at that time have a really good front system that we can bury ourselves in, which will take us very quickly across the bottom curvature of the Earth. With that said, I guess that's the end. As the sky lights up, okay, just a small update to have a look at the race positions, and using QT-BLM to have a look at some of the scenarios dependent on the grids that seem to be changing daily anyway. We have on the far side here X-ray, Master Stereo here, Frank Black here, and Kato over here. And while I find that I haven't got the best polars for this application, so it's more of a, you know, this might be true, might not be true. Let's have a quick look at what happens just once again. So as you can see, time's going by fairly slowly, 30 minutes a second. And while we're still heading south, and Frank is, and Kato and the coastal huggers are as well, X-ray has shot across the board a little bit, and although there is quite a lot of blue down here, and it's becoming very blue everywhere, we may be able to get into this fast band of air if our boat's fast enough. Would be nice to keep in it if possible. X-ray on the south with Blackborough, they've still got a bit to do. Frank's languishing in the middle here, but he might have changed and either gone south or gone more east there. And then we have this very, very close race to the end. And there's really nothing in it. So even though 3 days ago I said that Blackborough and X-ray were winners, it's really dependent on what the winds do up here and whether the winds down in the south will help as well. Have us arriving around about the 5th of December, and Frank a little bit behind that, but that's very dependent on what happens. And almost on the 7th of December he crawls in. Now obviously Frank is a much better sailor than that, and maybe he has some thoughts as to how he's going to get across. I'm hoping the curvature of the planet will help us. X-ray and Blackborough obviously hoping that they get into some of this stronger winds down here. It really is dependent on the storms as they come across from the east, you know, and come from South America to the Cape. If you can ride on one of those, you're well and good. If you're not, then you're going to be languishing quite far at the back.